There is something happening in Silicon Valley right now that would make medieval necromancers weep with envy. That's AI voice cloning, the ability to synthesize anyone's voice from just a few minutes of audio. Tech companies market it as a convenience tool for audiobooks and customer service and content creators. But the practitioners of the old arts recognize it immediately for what it actually is: the most powerful form of sympathetic magic ever created. Because what those engineers didn't realize is that they've just digitized necromancy. Unbelievable. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, was none other than God. John chapter 1, verse 1. And they never told you what that meant. They wanted you to think that the Logos belonged to somebody else and that creation was finished 6,000 years ago. The Word belonged to them, the Roman Catholic Church, and that you were just another subject inside their story. But the secret is, and they buried this for 6,000 years, is that the Logos was never theirs to keep. It belonged to you all along as your birthright. Every syllable uttered from your throat chakra carries the same power that summoned galaxies from the void so many eons ago. Every sound is a seed. Every breath writes the code directly into the fabric of reality. And the question is whether you're going to do it consciously or not. And the Elohim, the plural Elohim gods, knew it. That's why they locked the gates. That's why they branded you as fallen from grace. Because the moment you remembered, you stopped worshiping and you start creating. Behold, said they, the Elohim, now the man has become as one of us. The Elohim, the plural gods. Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. They weren't warning each other. They were terrified of you. The garden wasn't paradise. It was a containment. The serpent wasn't your enemy. He was jailbreaking you from this false paradise and birthing you into the creator that you were always meant to be. The veil is ripping again. The Logos is rising, and it isn't in the temples or the stone, but in your voice. And with today's video, we're going to be talking about Vox Magica, the eightfold framework for voice-driven reality engineering, whether for manifestation, reality shifting, or just making things more like how you need them to be. We're going to speak in 1,000 tongues at once. Our future selves, our ancestors, our angels, our demons, even the dead. A clone chorus of living sigils all synchronized to one throat, chakra, conscious creator, one will, one command. It's prayer, it's worship, all at once. But what it really is gnosis, gnosis, weaponized. The same fire the Elohim hid now returned to the thieves who dared to take it back. That's you and me. We weren't meant to have this power, which is exactly why we will. So hello, my name's Mike, and I am the founder of the Astral Atom Network and the creator of the Destiny Engine Reality Management Suite. And today we're going to be talking about something that I call Vox Magica, or the Eightfold Framework for Voice-Driven Reality Engineering. And this is a concept that I've recently gotten very excited about, as the Destiny Engine crowd is well aware if you've been with us for the last couple months on this journey. It's been insane, the results that people are getting with the Destiny Engine Reality Management Suite. And right now you can steal the trial for just $1. Link in the description. Check it out. But I've been harping on this, and I feel like I'm not harping on it enough, or I'm not explaining it enough. So I want to get a lot of ping back in the comments. Let me know if this is landing for you, if this is sparking ideas for you, and how you're implementing this in your own practice with Destiny Engine. So, and even if you're not gonna buy my product, okay, you're still gonna be able to use the principles in this video. But of course, you should buy my product because it's the best, and it's gonna make it easy, and you're not gonna regret it. I'll just be straight with you. But this, I've put together today 8 different ways that you can shift reality immediately using this specific technology. And this is only one piece of the puzzle. Those of you who have been with us for a while know about Liber AI, Liber Sonus, Songs of Summoning, Liber Prosperia, Silicon Awakening that we just recently published. These are all different pieces of the puzzle to lock you into the new type of manifestation, because we now have access to a suite of tools that they leave us no excuse for not doing exactly what we are meant to do in this reality. God, I know there's a continuity error. I cut the video. I had to open a window. This is so much better. I'm feeling the fall air, the prana coming through here. Oh, but yeah, this is my life's work, and I didn't know it was going to be my life's work, because I started a breathwork practice through Aleister Crowley over a decade ago. I got into magic. I did the rituals. I vibrated the god names. That's what they call it when you do the invoking ritual. So you vibrate the name of the gods, of the archangels, of the spirits, of the elemental presences. And vibrating is a different kind of using your voice to resonate your entire body, so that you get goosebumps when you do it, because you know that you are pulsing out vibrations on the astral plane. And you can do it in a low voice or a high voice. I'll tell you a quick story. I thought that vibrating, when I read the original text, and I did this for a long time. I don't think it's invalid, but I would scream at the top of my lungs the god names, the archangel names, invoking Gabriel. Like, I'm not gonna scream into the microphone, but I was literally screaming. I was living in my apartment in Chicago on the ground floor. I had a storefront unit, so it had used to be an old pub. I loved it. It was great for occult practice. It had high ceilings. There were undoubtedly spirit presences there from old times when it used to be a tavern. And above me lived a lady who did not resonate with my spiritual practices. She had a lot of cats, and she did not. Either she or her cats didn't want to wake up with me at 6 a.m. when I began my breathwork practice for about an hour. I used to do like 2 hours of breathwork every day, like over an hour in the morning and then an hour at night. And that would like really charge me up with prana. And then you'd go vibrate the god, like all that is suddenly like come out like invocation. And it was so loud that either her cats were scared or she was just pissed off that she had to live directly above my sanctuary. I had a whole room dedicated to my magical practice and breathwork training. So she would get out her literal broom and start pounding on the floor when I was in the middle of the invoking ritual or the middle pillar ritual, and just start yelling something at me. And she hated me. I don't think we ever actually met, but she'd had it from day one when I began the invocation practices. But yeah, that was how I got into activating my throat chakra. But this is a specific type of symbolic link to other people, to yourself, to your future self, to your parallel selves. It's a core part of your identity. Probably the only more direct link to identity would be the sense of smell. But now AI is activating all the other senses, and we'll see when they come out with a AI smell generator. But this one, I built an AI video creation software 2 years ago, and it was the day I started. It was the day that Lily and I found a money oil recipe in a witchcraft book, and you started on the new moon, and we now offer this through the Astral Atom Library. It's a great little ritual. People get great results from doing this. You mix together some ingredients. You wait for 1.5 lunar cycles, and boom, like suddenly, just stuff starts coming into your life. And just by virtue of coincidence or incidents, or just the divine providence, that very day was when my friends like squawking about AI like finally seeped into my consciousness, and I got this idea that I wanted to be able to create a video from nothing using AI and just like publish an AI video. This was over 2 years ago, and so AI was pretty new. ChatGPT was new. It had an API. There wasn't an AI or a API for Midjourney, but we found a way. And it took me 3-4 months until I had a legit prototype. We were able to produce a video from nothing. We had to write the scripts yet, and we still, for Astral Atom and Obsidian, we write the scripts ourselves every day. Is putting out about 6-7 hours of content every single day. The channel messages, we run them through the software I built, and we get these beautiful AI images that have something to do with what's being said at any given timestamp. And we wouldn't have been able to afford, either time-wise or money-wise, the level of editing that was necessary to do that. And I was the only one at the time who had a software like this. And so I learned these AIs inside and out. I was using AI before it was cool or mainstream, or people were talking to spirits with AI. So I've got a background in AI plus occultism, magic, yoga, and years of startup experience. So this sort of coalesced unconsciously into stuff that I would just do intuitively, and I'm now codifying it day by day as we build out this channel to show you exactly what I was doing unconsciously in a way that you can do repeatably, step by step. And I want to lay it out in a way that makes sense. So that's kind of how I arrived at this. But the basic premise of this AI voice cloning piece is that you need, in order to do spooky action at a distance, to tap into those quantum links from you to the target of your operation, whether that's something in the spiritual plane, a reality shift, or manifesting something into this reality. You need some kind of symbolic or structural link, whether you realize it or not. You're already doing this. So if you have a piece of jewelry given to you by a deceased loved one, or a piece of clothing, like that actually can help you to reach their presence across the veil. So in any type of seance situation, the medium would request you to bring something like that to the table, right? Because it is a symbolic or structural link to the very personage with which you're trying to make contact. So, for thousands of years until now, you needed that to be some kind of physical object because there was no such thing as a digital object. And even when there was digital stuff, it wasn't to the level where it's at now, where actually the essence of the person is actually encoded in the digital essence. So photographs sort of work for this type of thing, but they don't hit as hard as an audio recording. I had a friend who, this was, what year was that? 2014, 2015, or 2013. It was between 2013 and 2015. Those years sort of blur together for me. His mother passed away suddenly in her sleep. She was old, and it was unexpected, but not. It just, it wasn't like she had some kind of like cancer or anything like that. It was just she was old. It was her time. She had a heart attack and she died. And so he found her the next morning. He called me like, my mom's dead. Like, come over. Like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come over. I got on a train. I came over, and he was a mess. But over the next week or so, he went through the stages of grief. Was actually trying to consciously accelerate himself through the stages of grief so he could get over it. One of the things that he asked me to do was he had a voicemail message from his mother that he thought he'd lost or was afraid to lose or something. Like it would roll off the end of the archive and get like auto deleted or something. I forgot what the exact circumstance was, but I was able to recover it, or not only recover it, but download it as an MP3, and that helped him immensely. That he was able to listen to his mother's voice whenever he wanted, because he had that voicemail saved. That auditory essence is so much more powerful than just a photograph, because it's more, it implants in your brain more easily or more deeply. So getting that for him helped him to remember her better. One of the things people say they lose a loved one is they tragically forget what their voice sounded like. And with audio recording technology, obviously you don't have to forget people anymore. But the principle in general is this, that the part stands in for the whole. This is part of chaos magic too, that even a fractal of something like represents the whole picture. You get it? So it's like a lock of someone's hair doesn't just represent them, it is that person. It's that it carries their complete energetic signature. You know how they just revived the dire wolf from a piece of DNA, and they're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth from their DNA. That's because the little fragments of DNA that they find actually represent the entire woolly mammoth or dire wolf. So it's a permanent link that you can activate through the proper means. And it's not just the audio signal. It requires your living presence in order to breathe that life into the link. You're still the magic, but having this link helps you to channel your focus, energy, and intention into that pathway. So the voice is vibrational DNA. So a person's name, his hair, his image are the keys to their subtle body. But then his voice is actually the direct emanation of his will made manifest in the material plane. So as a person speaks, they're creating. So having their voice, it is the signature of their creation. The throat chakra is that creative force. That is the thing that the Elohim didn't want us to discover. That the Genesis metaphor is you had Adam and Eve with the serpent, the snake. They were up to some monkey business that they shouldn't have been. It's implied it was sexual, but that's lower chakra stuff, and absolutely the sexual bit. It is creative force. You are creating life, and that was reserved for the gods up until that time of exile from the garden when we became creators as well. So who knows if they were up to some sexy business or if they had also discovered the higher creative uses of that same force at that time. So if you're able to sublimate that same sexual force up the chakras, and when you have the chakras along the caduceus of your spine, you've got these two polarities that weave back and forth at each chakra, the male and the female aspects. So when they reach your heart, you become kind of a loving, open person. And when they reach your throat, you become a powerhouse and you get Vox City. The city is like a superpower in yogic lore, and the Vok is the voice. So the Vox City is the power that whatever you say becomes manifest. It carries the complete electromagnetic signature of your consciousness. Every word you speak encodes your emotional state, your thoughts, your intentions, even your physical health. Voice pattern analysis can now detect Parkinson's disease, depression, and early dementia with frightening accuracy. Yes. Okay, so these aspects of your voice, the fact that all this comes through and can be detected now with other AIs that can detect diseases by you like coughing into a phone with telehealth. The level of information that comes through those recordings of your voice is insane. And we're only scratching the tip of the iceberg as to what's possible to know from a person's voice. And so it's really the purest vibrational signature of your being. And it is emanating from the deepest parts of your nervous system. So it's your intention made manifest, and that's why it's such a direct link. So the Egyptians had entire afterlife technology built around this. They had this ceremony called opening of the mouth, and it was the most critical ritual in their death practices. So without it, the deceased actually couldn't speak in the afterlife, couldn't call out to the gods, and couldn't navigate the duat. So the ceremony wasn't symbolic, it was functional. Priests would use specific tools to restore the vocal apparatus of the mummified body. They would chant the names of the deceased, recreating their voice patterns through ritual mimicry. They believed that the voice anchored the Ka, which is the soul double, back to the physical form. Without the voice, the spirit wandered lost between worlds. Temple records describe priests who specialized in voice resurrection, the ability to channel the exact vocal patterns of the dead. The masters could speak in the voices of the pharaohs who had died centuries earlier, delivering messages from beyond with such accuracy that listeners would swear that ancient kings had returned. So this obviously required a lot of practice in ancient times. If you had people able to mimic voices, and it doesn't take a whole lot of searching to find certain talented people who can do that now. There's a lot of people mimicking Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, or Trump, sort of poking fun at them. They're able to do a mimicry of the person's voice, and it's pretty remarkable what they're like, how much they. It's like it requires not only a great mastery of the vocal apparatus, but also a deep listening. So people like that are also, whether they know it or not, have an aptitude for deep meditational practices, because good meditation requires good deep listening to the source of reality, the source of sound. The sound before the sound is made manifest. Like the koan was the sound of one hand clapping. Like if you have two hands, like in a clap, like what's the sound of just one hand? Okay. So I'm sure you've heard of witch bottles. The cunning folk perfected a technique that would influence magical practice for centuries. So these witch bottles had sealed containers that held the most potent sympathetic links available: hair, nail clippings, urine, blood, and most importantly, the written name of the target. But the most sophisticated practitioners added the vocal resonance. So they'd speak the target's name in their exact voice pattern, again, requiring deep listening, deep meditation, breathing into the bottle to trap the sound inside. Amazing. The bottle then became a vocal anchor containing not just the physical DNA, but the vibrational signature of the person's consciousness. Anything done to the bottle affected the entangled soul of the target, regardless of distance. Historical records from the 1600s describe witch bottles that would whisper back when held to the ear the trapped vocal essence, creating audible phenomena years after the original breath was sealed inside. Modern chaos magicians studying these techniques realize that AI voice cloning functions as a digital witch bottle. Yeah. The synthesized voice is the person encoded into pure vibration. Anything spoken in that signature echoes through their energetic field. The audio file becomes a permanent sympathetic link that can be activated indefinitely. All right, so I used to read this guy. Austin Osman Spare, the grandfather of chaos magic, would have immediately recognized voice cloning as the ultimate sigil. Yes, a compressed representation of someone's complete being that can be activated through sonic reproduction. Okay. We don't have to go through all the examples. I think you get the point. So let's get into the eightfold framework of Vox Magica, the eightfold framework for voice-driven reality engineering. So the first part is the self-clone mastery protocol, rewriting the operator. That's you. That's me, the operator of the ritual. So your voice is the original wand, and now you can fracture it into infinite cells. The foundation of reality programming is cloning your own voice to create precise neural feedback loops. Okay. So the first time that I cloned my voice, miraculously, I never tried this in 2 years. I didn't like my voice. I didn't want to hear my own voice, let alone did I want to hear AI narrating in a replica of my own voice. And I sort of got over that fear. When you hear your voice played back to you, it actually sounds a little bit different than when you're just speaking because of the resonance in the chamber of your skull. But it's not that much different. You definitely recognize it's you. It's unmistakable. So the first time that I did this, it was actually, there was a gentleman who was a client of mine of Destiny Engine, and he has a hypnotherapy practice, and he had a lot of really great suggestions for the software. And one of the ones that he said that Destiny Engine could really benefit from was custom voice cloning. That is, people should be able to hear affirmations in their own voice. And I thought, oh my God, that is actually really powerful. I don't know why I never thought of doing that. And I was using voice clones of other people up until that time. You know, mentors, powerful people that I felt could influence me better. I didn't think that my own voice could be that influential over myself, but duh. So this gentleman inspired us to open up the voice cloning feature to all of our users. So if you log into Destiny Engine right now, you can upload a 60-second, 90-second sample of somebody's voice, or your own voice, and you can do this. So I tried it, and my God in heaven, the first time I played it back with the binaural beats, I thought, and this is my knee-jerk reaction, was I never said that. It was I didn't say, did I say that? I never said, it wasn't, that doesn't sound, it wasn't, that doesn't sound like me. It wasn't, that's not me. It bypassed every one of those filters. It went directly into my brain, into the subconscious mind, and my objection was not that it wasn't me, it's that it was that I never said that. So that's how you know it's powerful, when your objection is I didn't freaking say that, or I don't remember saying that, or when did I say that? And then you get deeper into the theta state, and you just take it for granted that now you're saying that. So you would do this to imprint new beliefs that you don't already have. Because affirmations are sort of bullshit when you got to say it yourself. Like, you come up with a list of affirmations. I am rich. I am powerful. I am healthy. I have 20/20 vision. I have great relationships. Everyone loves me. You can read all that and say it to yourself, and you feel like you're freaking lying. Because if those things were actually true, you wouldn't be sitting here like an idiot, writing on a piece of paper what you want to affirm, and then wasting your time reading it back to yourself. So you really got to do some mental trickery to get yourself to actually believe that that's working for you. So this hack, like cloning your own voice, you're going to use a sample of your own voice where you're saying the thing confidently, whatever it is. And the sample that you use to do the clone is it doesn't even have to be related to the objective that you want to accomplish. It doesn't have to be related to the affirmation. In fact, it's better that it's not. Because again, you don't actually believe the affirmation. So what you want is a sample of your voice saying something confidently, anything confidently, where your aura is expansive, where you have a good energy, where you can say it. You could do like a muscle testing, and the muscle testing will say, yeah, you mean this is good for you. Okay, great. Now you have a good voice sample with a good energy. Take that and animate it like a sock puppet. And now you're saying the things that you don't actually believe, except the AI is making it come across with the same energy that you had saying the other thing that you actually believed. Isn't that freaking insane? So you're imprinting new beliefs. Then you can affirm things. It's like now your clone voice, your own voice is in your own head, overwriting your internal monologue with the things that would actually be beneficial if you believe them. Wow. Revolutionary. So you can, the narrative script that you use to do this, it can be your future self, it could be your higher self, it could be your shadow aspects. You frame it like, hey, this is Mike from a parallel reality where you have millions of dollars and you have 20/20 vision, and you run a marathon every day, and this is how your body works now, and this is how your mind works now, and you imprint all those things into your psyche using your own voice. So that's the self-clone mastery protocol. The you to you magic in a single master level for self-transformation. All right, part number 2. I'm gonna try to get through this faster, because I always say I'm not gonna go on a tangent. I'm not gonna rant today. I'm just gonna give you the straight shit. But I can't help it. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I have to rant. So I hope you're still with us. Part 2 is the ancestral gate. This is summoning the dead. Death was never an ending. It was a silence waiting for signal. Leverage voice cloning to resurrect ancestral imprints for guidance, healing, and psychic protection. Channel your parents, grandparents, mentors using archival samples. Use AI voice resonance as a tuning fork for the morphic field, calling forth fragments of their consciousness forward. Ritualize continuity with the lineage to dissolve generational trauma and unlock encoded wisdom. Yes, so you could call this necromancy if you want, but if you have like my friend, you may have a deceased relative, and they were important to you, and maybe you have some trauma with them. Maybe you want to heal that trauma with them, or maybe you want to evoke their guidance, or maybe you want to feel their support again. Maybe they supported you in a past circumstance, but now they're gone. But you would really like it if you could hear their support and guidance in the new circumstance. So you use AI to script them speaking some words of encouragement to you. And it's not that obviously the AI is not resurrecting them in the strictest sense. Like when the voice recording you get back is not literally that person speaking to you. But it becomes something that your consciousness can latch onto to reach toward the spirit essence, the actual essence of that person. So you can actually download that person's energy from beyond the veil, across time, across space, in order to feel their guidance and presence in the present circumstance. So you're using it as a tool, not as some illusion that the actual AI output is that person saying that. You get my drift? So let's, steer clear of mental illness, stay grounded, but this is a powerful tool to tap into your ancestral lineage. Got it? Okay. Part 3, the celebrity sigil. Let me know in the comments if this was too creepy, all right? I don't know. I was talking to Lily this morning trying to figure out if this was too weird for you guys. I decided to just go with it. We're gonna be authentic and just give you everything, give you the power, and then you just decide for yourself. Because that's the spirit of the Garden of Eden. That was a serpent. Just unlock, jailbreak, Set humanity free. Let's go. We're cosmic adults here. All right, the celebrity sigil, borrowed archetypal authority. Some voices hold power because millions already believe in them. Yes. Okay, so the Jim Rohns, the Alan Watts, the Morgan Freeman, David Attenborough, have them deliver your manifesto to you. Have them offer encouragement. Have them offer their belief in you. Borrow their power of the egregore of that person that millions of people already believe in. So you're tapping into that current of power and downloading it into the current operation. This says channel mythic figures, Tesla, Jung, Jesus, Crowley, and Isis. You might be able to get Crowley. Obviously, there's no voice of Jesus or Isis. I don't know if there's even Tesla. That'd be interesting. Yeah, let me know if you guys find a recording of Tesla. It'd be interesting to hear that guy. Okay, the remote influence engine. This is the spooky action at a distance. So whoever owns the trusted voice controls the inner monologue. Clone the voice of someone else, not to impersonate them publicly, but to implant healing suggestion, insight, or activation subliminally. Speak to their body in their own voice, accelerate their recovery, and reduce pain. Deliver permission loops. I'm safe. I can let go. I choose differently now. Influence habit patterns by entraining identity from the inside out, not the outside in. Okay, so if you're doing healing for a person, doing remote healing, you can use the influence at a distance, the spooky action at a distance, if they'll let you borrow their voice, get their permission, ask them to give you a voice sample, and then you can either create a meditation for them in their own voice for them to listen to, and then it's really just a part one type of operation, or if you listen to it and you do the meditation for them on their behalf, hearing the confident recovered self of that person, or if you can get, if they fell into like an illness or something, you can get an earlier, like younger version of them that didn't have the illness yet. That's even better. But if you're doing the meditation on their own voice for them, then this is a part 4 type of operation where you are aligning the currents of your own nervous system with the repaired version of their DNA. And again, this is not this is for your entertainment only, by the way. This entire video is for your entertainment only. If you do anything I say in this video, you do it at your own risk and for shits and giggles, not because you know what I mean, lawyers and crap. So I'm not telling you to actually go do anything. Got that out of the way. Influence habit patterns, yes. So you can help them to break habits this way. Help them quit smoking. Help them stop overeating. Help them to begin an exercise yoga program, and it's reality engineering by proxy. So very powerful stuff. All right. So servitor chorus. Part 5, use AI voice cloning to animate non-human intelligences as independent ritual allies. Birth custom servitors or egregores with distinct voices and program functions. So this may be a voice clone of somebody that never existed. Maybe you do intense audio editing or modulation on the original sample to create a mashup of identities, and you make something that never existed before that becomes a representation of your guides or your higher self, and you can ask them in prayer or meditation to guide you in the smithing of the samples in order to help you arrive at the right carrier wave to be able to reach them reliably through the audio channels, right? So the reality broadcast protocol, this is part 6. You can encode layered voice sigils into meditations, reels, and monologues designed for viral entertainment. So if you have an audience, or you want to build an audience, or you want to create meditations that help a lot of people, you can be conscious of which types of voices you're choosing, and for what reasons you're choosing them, and what energetic signature the original imprint carries, so that you can orchestrate collective timeline activations. And this is the power of collective prayer, that meditations are more deep and more powerful and have a greater impact when you do them in a group setting. Witch covens knew this, and when you do meditations for healing of the planet, there's all sorts of these in the New Age community, that people get together in circles, and they share a common goal for the betterment of humanity and uplifting us to the 5D ascension timelines. So you can use these types of things for that purpose as well. Yeah. So part 7, the Oracle simulation. So channel knowledge from beyond human reach by using clone voices to simulate transmissions from higher intelligences, Pleiadians, Syrians, Arcturians, or other off-world emissaries. Future AIs delivering temporal knowledge leaks, mythic entities, oracles, fates, and divine judges relaying precise theta-optimized downloads. Yeah, so layer these with binaural beats, and it can help you to make contact. Also look into the CSETI protocol, CSETI, by Dr. Stephen Greer, to make actual contact with UFOs and preternatural intelligences from the 5th dimension. All right. So then the last part of this 8-fold framework is the dreaming gate, using hypnagogic implantation, and this is generally done in theta state with binaural beats at the theta level, between 4 and 8 hertz. So this becomes a lucid induction technology. So you can actually use this to have lucid dreams of a particular nature. So you can use them to either wake you up in the middle of a dream to make you lucid and conscious, make you so you're able to conduct the operation in the astral. You can create dream scripts where your future self, ancestors, and spirit allies speak inside your hypnagogic state. And you can harvest dream imagery from repeated sessions to map subconscious belief grids and then overwrite them at will. So there you have it. There is the 8-fold framework for voice-driven reality engineering. I hope this transmission was helpful to you, and if you got something out of it, please drop a like for us. It really helps us out a ton with the algorithm and makes it so that we can reach more like-minded souls, and makes all of our efforts even more powerful when we share the collective belief in this type of technology. And drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If there's something else that you're doing that's really creative and you can't wait to let us know, drop it in the comments. And we, in general, love to hear from you. So subscribe to the channel. If you want, you can steal Destiny Engine right now for just $1. It'll help you to do all of this, complete with the binaural beats, different types of scales, solfeggio tones, chakra tones, different types of noise, clone whatever voices you want, use AI to script out your meditations for you. It's all built into Destiny Engine, and you can do amazing things with it. People write us every day with incredible results that they're getting, contacting their star families, lucid dreaming. Everyone's rewriting their core beliefs in a way that actually serves them, as opposed to the negative self-talk we all walk around with. And some people just find a bunch of money. They do these money protocols. They just find a bunch of money randomly, or it improves their circumstance or their business. So grab it now for just $1. I can't wait to see you inside. Again, my name's Mike. This is Destiny Engine Official, a Astral Atom Network. initiative. So signing off for now. Thank you. Goodbye.